Welcome back, everybody. Today, I have Alolan Ninetales for you. I've been playing the deck today, and I think I understand the guy, and I know what way to play it. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the list that I think is the strongest, talk about the variants that I have played and did not really think were all that strong, give you as much information about the Ninetales guy that I can. Before I throw the deck list up, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I will keep trying to provide 2 videos a day. While this new set is still hot, try to get as much content out that is, backed up by actual testing and gameplay. So here we go. This is the way I think Alolan Ninetales needs to be played. This is with Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt, when you evolve him, you can discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. I played the Greninja version of this deck. The only version I didn't really play was the Araquanid version, but that has too much going on, I think. Because the problem with the Greninja version is, yes, you can ping around and grab whatever Pokemon you want, but you have to set up Greninja to do it. You have to have Cyrus, and if your opponent manages their bench well and is just able to set up something that can attack, like gets the necessary energy on it, and you don't have a way to discard that energy, you're kind of out of luck. Like, that list can also play like Team Rocket Grunt, but I feel like just having consistent, I know that my opponent's energy is going to get discarded, is better than relying on Team Rocket Grunt. Coin flip cards feel awful to me. I do not like to play them when they're my supporter. So this Crawdaunt version has felt the best for me because when I am attacking with Alolan Ninetales, if my opponent just has one too many energy, I can snip it off with the Crawdaunt. And then I'm good. I don't have anything to worry about. I know that that Pokemon's going to be trapped in the active spot. Alolan Ninetales, I guess if you don't know, does 80 damage to the active spot, and your opponent cannot attach any energy from their energy zone to their active Pokemon. So, against something like Charizard, Charmeleon takes energy from the active from the energy zone and attaches it to the active. Charmeleon, after a Ninetales attack, will not work. It will work for Flame Patch, though, which is why I'm very consciously considering how much energy is in play. If my opponent's Charmeleon only has 2 energy in play after he's already played 1 Flame Patch this game, I know that my Ninetales is going to be safe. So I really am just trying to get through this Pokemon. And I play a Crawdaunt here because I don't want to keep getting damaged by the Entei, and honestly, if my opponent is able to, this also keeps him from retreating, if my opponent is able to power up the Charmeleon into a Charizard, I've probably lost the game anyways. I also have another Corphish and Crawdaunt line somewhere in the deck. In this game right here, you see that I am trying out the Cryogonal in this list. I didn't love it that much. It item locks, but it takes an energy to do so. You're kind of weak on the energy in the energy department. Like, ideally, you want to be using Alolan Ninetales as fast as possible. You also see I was trying out Sightseer. I've really been trying the card. I have a full art version, so, I want to give it a go, give it some respect. Copycat has just felt better for me. The Sightseer, the problem is, like, I gotta find the stage 1s, but I gotta find the basics first before the stage 1s. And so if I have a Sightseer early on in the game, but I don't have a Vulpix, it's not doing me any favors. So I prefer the double Copycat over 1 Copycat, 1 Sightseer, like I was playing in this video. The inflatable boat is so if I start Corphish or Alolan Vulpix going first and I can find my Mantike, I can still get an energy into play, just good for the pivots. And Alolan Ninetales also has 2 retreat, so it's nice to be able to maneuver the guy when I need to. Retreat for just 1, like you see right here. I figure I might as well move this Alolan Ninetales just so I'm not going to get knocked out potentially by anything I'm not expecting. Just playing a little bit on the Schizo side, but the inflatable boat lets you do that without discarding all of your energy from the Ninetales. 2 retreat cost is pretty substantial on the guy, to be honest. I mean, it's all of your energy gone, and you want to power up double Ninetales. You don't really want to stack all the energy onto your 1 Ninetales. But here my opponent promotes the Charizard. I know he only has 1 Flame Patch left in the deck, so I am really not worried about this at all. I'm just going to swing into the Charizard, and I think I'll be fine. Like, there shouldn't be anything that allows him to get the energies he needs. He probably should have just put the no, he couldn't put the Charmander. I really have him in like a dire spot, right? He can't, if he goes Entei, I don't know how he's going to retreat it unless he's playing Leaf. I'm just going to 2-shot that, promote the Charizard, can't attack with it. It's just not looking good for him. His best play, I guess, is trying to power up the Entei on the bench and hope that that's enough, but most likely it won't be. And now that I have the Cyrus, it's very clear. what needs to happen, and that is just simply attack into the Charizard, and if he goes anywhere, I'm going to Cyrus him up on the next turn and end the game. That's the power of the Alolan Ninetales. You want to get the Alolan Ninetales out as fast as possible so you can start making your opponent's life difficult. Now, some bad matchups for the deck. Definitely Gardevoir. You're just not going to be able to stop them at all. They can freely pivot around with the Psychic Stadium. So I think if you want that matchup to be better, you should be playing the training grounds, whatever the stadium is, that lets Ninetales do 10 more HP. 10 more damage with its attacks, because it is a stage 1. That is also, if you're playing against other stage 1 decks, you got to look out for that. Be careful of when you put it in play, like any stadium. An opponent just concedes. He realizes, I can't do anything. It's over. So that stadium is a potential, but to be honest, like, even with that stadium, if they're just able to get a Mega Gardevoir attack off, you're just in a terrible spot because you are... they flood so much energy on the board. Like, they could even just take all 3 of those energies, attach them to Mega Gardevoir, and then no amount of Crawdons are ever going to stop that thing from attacking again and just kind of running away with the game. So the Mega Gardevoir is just a strictly bad matchup for it. And the Mega Kangaskhan has not felt great, but I will say I've been playing against, I feel like, almost exclusively Mega Kangaskhan's that play double Ilima and always have it. So I added the Mars into the list. I'm not kidding. I feel like it could either be a Mars or a Silver to, like, fill both of those roles. Like, you just want something very specific to not be there for your opponent's turn. I guess the Mars is also useful if you're going against something that's, you know, rare candy, trying to pull off a rare candy combo. You get that value. But I think Mars or Silver could be fine. And the biggest flex card is probably the Giant Cape. If I had to take out one card, it would be Giant Cape. I'm not even sure if the damage matters in, like, any situation. It's just, I have an extra card slot. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. I don't want to play, like, double Mantike because it is so important that we get the Vulpix out as soon as possible. So I'm just going to try to make that happen as much as possible by only playing 5 basics in my deck. That makes it a lot more manageable to get the guy online. Look at here. My opponent Rare Candy evolves into Mega Blaziken, and I'm just able to Crawdon that energy off. Blinding Snow. And I guess my opponent could go Flame Patch, Retreat to Entei. I'm holding the Sabrina, so it would have to be Flame Patch plus another basic, or else I would just bring it right back up. But my opponent just concedes. Not sure why he left it in the active spot, but he did, and we got to punish it pretty hard. I mean, we won the game. Here's the Cryogonal lead. I don't know. Every time I played the Cryogonal, it just felt like my opponent. I think people respect item lock enough that a lot of decks are playing the stage 1 evolutions. So the Cryogonal was really not slowing things down. It's also like, if you lead the Cryogonal, it's not like it's Chingling where if you're going first, you can attack with it because you need to attach the energy to it. So it felt overall like weaker than I would like it to, and I think it gets in the way more than anything, just being that 6th basic that can come up when you're just trying to find your Alolan Vulpix so you can get the Ninetales online. Like right here, I could have started anything else. I'm going to item lock it. Might slow my opponent down. It might not. And now I'm 2 turns away from Alolan Vulpix doing anything. Doesn't feel the best. You know, I think I'd just rather be stopping my opponent from attaching energy on my next turn. But that is not the case. That's not what we're allowed to do. The inflatable boat, again, I just discussed it already. Feels very good. 1 Cyrus, 1 Sabrina feels good. And then double research, double copycat to try to just set up as quickly as possible. Another good thing about the cape, though, is that it's, like, very playable. Makes your copycat stronger. Just thins a card out of the deck. Oh, shout out, oh, what was his name? I think it was SHG. SHG traded me the Alolan Ninetales full art, and it was it's so beautiful. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. I thought I would, or I at least tried to beforehand, but then I forgot to before I started recording, and now I don't remember. But if it was you, hopefully you're watching the video, because you know that I have this now, and drop a comment, and I'll give you a little heart. Because it is a beautiful, beautiful full art. It makes my deck so much more swag. I'm glad I'm playing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So many kind viewers helping me bling out my decks. It's always very, very much appreciated. So what else about the Alolan Ninetales? Is it like a tier 1 deck? I don't think so. There are just ways around it. It's not like we have... Like, Alolan Ninetales would be peak if there was a consistent way to discard energy and you could do like Cyrus shenanigans and bring up your opponent's active Pokemon that you want to be attacking into, you know, your opponent, they're still able to attach to the bench. If they are able to get enough, if they're allowed enough time, they will just power up something that has way too many energy on it and you can't really deal with it. Again, Mega Kangaskhan is like, feels like a pretty big problem for the deck, and that deck is absolutely everywhere. Gardevoir is a big problem. Not showing up as much in tournaments, but as I play these casual games, Mega Gardevoir is absolutely everywhere. But it can handle a lot of these, you know, off-meta style decks fairly fine. Like, this isn't a deck that you're going to play and you're just going to lose a billion straight with it. It does have, like, an actual game plan. There is a reason why you would want to play the card. It is strong enough to be a real deck. I don't serve up slop here, or maybe I definitely do serve up slop here sometimes, but usually it's I don't know, like McDonald's level. You know, you're not going to get food poisoning from it, but it's not going to be the best meal you've ever had. And look at that! Oh, look at that full art! Look at that full art! Such a beautiful card. Yeah, I don't really even know what else we can discuss about the guy. We've talked about the deck list, what to include in it. We can take a look here. I mean, my opponent's Leafeon is just completely stuck in the active spot. I don't know what, he just can't attach to it. Unless my opponent's playing X-Speeds or something, like, it's just going to be trapped here. It's just going to be trapped here. You will run into people playing X-Speeds in decks that you do not expect it to be in. I think that's just like I think X-Speed is a very, almost like casual bait card. Right? Like, if you're familiar with Ranked, you know that you almost never run into X-Speed. It's very, very rare that you do. But I think a lot of these decks in the casual queue do run X-Speed or some form of retreat. They seem to very much enjoy it over there. And you see this hand right here where I have Sightseer and no... See, I start Cryogonal, but I have no Vulpix. You know, I'm going to be able to item lock. And it's a Fossil deck, but he got the Fossil down turn 1. If he didn't get the Fossil down turn 1, Cryogonal would have been the best card in the deck. Because he would never be able to play a Fossil. I would just be able to slowly destroy this Smeargle and we'd be good. Gonna play the Sightseer here just to thin out some cards, because I really need the Vulpix in order to be able to play. And we're going to Frozen Lock. This Smeargle, I tested it. It is such a bad card. It is awful, man. I really thought that Portrait let you... choose a supporter from your opponent's hand and use it. I did not read it as random for some reason. And yeah, it's not good. Every time I played Smeargle, I did not successfully grab a research off of a Smeargle hit one time. Not one time. So it is what it is. I'm just going to keep item locking here. My opponent did get the Cranidos, so I'm kind of expecting with a 6-card hand a Rampardos to come out. And I still have no Vulpix. So, I can, if next turn, if I top deck Vulpix, I can Mantike to it, and it'll be ready to go. And I can Crawdaunt away the Rampardos' energy and just lock it in the active spot. So that's what I'm going to have to play for. He's going to take some damage, and my Ninetales will be able to knock it out unless he plays, like, a Lily or something. So, we're going to set up Mantike, and we're going to pray we find a Vulpix to keep this game going. If not, I'm going to have to charge up a Crawdaunt and use that to knock out a Rampardos. So, I use Research, I get a Pokeball, and at this point, all that's left in my deck are Vulpixes. So I do find it. I'm able to just throw a giant cape on it. That'll stop a red from knocking it out when it comes up and attacks. If there's another Rampardos. And I'm going to Splashy Toss. Now, by the way, I love this shiny Mantike. It looks so good. I might like it more than the Crown Rare. I didn't realize how much I love shiny Mantike until I've seen this card. My opponent goes Sabrina. I'm a little bit sad about that. Like, I would like to keep both core fish, but, I mean, it's the only thing I can give up here. I really wanted the Mantike to go down, because I'm not going to get any value out of that. My opponent goes for red card on my 3-card hand. I am watching myself freak out over in the corner. I was in VC while I was recording these games, and I had some words for this character. But we do get a very good hand. We get Vulpix, Pokeball, and Copycat. So we're going to have pretty good odds, right? We have 7 cards left in deck. It's going to be 8 when we shuffle the Sabrina back, and we're going to get 5. So Ninetales would have to be stuck to the bottom 3 cards of my deck. And there's a Ninetales. We're good. I get the full art one, too, which I was happy about because I did want to flex it on him. And from here, we're just able to take a knockout on this Rampardos. Not really worry about it. Don't have to waste my Crawdaunt quite yet. And we can just go... you can just knock out this Smeargle next turn, hopefully, and that'll be the end of the game. My opponent puts down a Rocky Helmet, which is very scary. Because like I was saying, I put the Giant Cape on, so I wouldn't have to deal with... I wouldn't have to worry about red plus Rampardos. My opponent gets an Old Amber and a Skull Fossil down this turn. And a Mars. The Mars is not really all that troubling, but the Skull Fossil and the Old Amber definitely are. Now, luckily, I top decked the Alolan Ninetales, so I won't lose to a Sabrina. That's nice. And I have the Crawdaunt for whatever comes into the active spot next. I'm thinking, but ultimately, the only play I have is to attack the Smeargle, get my second point, and just hope that there's no red in the way of my Alolan Ninetales to take the knockout. So here comes the Skull Fossil, and we're holding. He does have Rare Candy, so there he is, Rare Candy Rampardos. We're holding. Gets the Aerodactyl as well. Hold. Just a head smash. Okay. So now I'm down to 20 HP. Could still lose to Guzma. I get a Sabrina. And here I'm debating, like, do I ever Sabrina up the Aerodactyl? I'm genuinely considering it here. Like, do I ever go for the Aerodactyl? Because that way he can't Lily it and maybe, like, buy himself the time that he needs to win the game through some other means. But ultimately, I just go, let's just attack into the Rampardos. There could be something weird here. It's going to be harder for him to I even say, I bet, like, imagine the double X speed right now. So he uses Cyrus, X speed, and attaches to Aerodactyl. And concedes. So if I had Sabrina up the Aerodactyl, I actually would have lost that game. So good thing I didn't. Yeah, I'm very, very glad I didn't. But this is what I mean. Like, you'll run into these things where, like, why is this guy playing X-Speed in a Rampardos deck? Like, I guess maybe to go for the turn 2 pot. Like, if you go first, get Skull Fossil, Rare Candy Rampardos, you can X-Speed into it and just get the pop-off and start swinging. So it does make sense in that deck. But there, I'm telling you, you'll run into some weird retreating options in some of these decks. Here we are playing against a Celebi deck, which immediately I'm afraid of because I figure that there's going to be a superior in here, and that thing is going to be able to get so much extra energy into play. Just like one energy on a Celebi is scary, right? Like, I'm going to have to take off all the energy in order to stop this thing from swinging into me. Otherwise, it's going to be able to do at max 100 damage each turn if there's a superior. We haven't seen it yet, but there definitely could be. He puts a Leaf Cape on the Celebi. I mean, it is what it is. I'm debating if I should just go for the Crawdaunt here, but I figure with no Alolan Ninetales to block it, I'm not really stopping much. I'd rather save the Crawdaunt for when I know it's going to be impactful, and I don't totally care if the Mantite goes down here, because if we don't get something fast, the game's gonna get away from us pretty quickly here. So he's gonna just go for he goes actually for Sabrina here, and I figure, like, all right, if I'm gonna lose someone, I really need the Crawdaunt to take away some of this energy, so I'm just gonna throw up the Vulpix. My opponent does need 2 heads to get a knockout, and he doesn't get it. That's the nice thing about 60 HP is, I mean, a Celebi can't knock it out with 2 energy most of the time. I use Research. Still no Ninetales. We're kind of bricking here. This is going to let me get some energy onto the Crawdaunt as well. That's what we got, man. That's what we got, is powering up the Crawdaunt. And seeing, now I'm going to be dealing with a Celebi with 3 energy. If a superior comes out, technically 6. He goes for the flips and misses all of them. I actually, like, I almost didn't even want that. Like, it's fine that it happened, but it doesn't really make a big difference to me. And here we go. I find my Ninetales, and now I'm saying, like, dude, this is too much energy. Like, if he gets a superior, I need that to be limited to 4 coin flips. I can't let this guy flip 6 coins on me. That's just, there's a good chance my Alolan Ninetales is going to go down, and I'm not trying to let that happen. So if there's no Erica, I can 2-shot this thing, and that will be good. But otherwise, my opponent just goes for a Cyrus on the Alolan Vulpix, which is, whatever, I guess. That's not a huge deal. He attaches to the bench Celebi. Now he's flipping 2 coins. He does get the knockout on my Vulpix. Hits for 100. He didn't need to be that harsh, but sure, man. Whatever makes you feel good. And he did not heal the Celebi. So, I'm just able to go up with the Alolan Ninetales, take this knockout, and there's not going to be much in the way. So he's trying to set up the Celebi on the bench that's going to devolve my Pokemon. That's not a big deal to me because, yes, I'll lose my Alolan Ninetales. That will suck, but I at least won't lose the game. And if he brings that Celebi up, like, Crawdaunt can just knock it out in return, and that will be the game. But if he devolves my Ninetales, it's not like he only gets 1 point for it. If he has, like, the red alongside it to make sure he's hitting for 60. If he doesn't, we're just good. He attaches to the Leafeon on the bench and ponders and retreats into the Leafeon to attack. I don't even know how much this thing's going to do. It does 30 damage. So I guess he can set up for a Celebi knockout the next turn. But I'm just holding Sabrina in hand, and all of those guys on the bench have less than 80 HP. So we just get to knock that Pokemon out and win us the game. And that is it for the gameplay, guys. Ninetales, honestly, like, what do I rate it? I don't think it's going to be a top tier deck. I think it has, you know, too much going against it. It can lose to Hydreigon, obviously, if they just pop off, and you don't get the Alolan Ninetales attack to lock them up. Alolan Ninetales doing 80 damage, really not the most in the world. And has 150 HP, which can just be two-shot by a lot of things. It's got some issues. I'd be excited if I saw a build that really spoke to me, but I tried basically every variant of Ninetales that I could think of. Greninja, Crawdaunt, and none of them felt entirely great, but the Crawdaunt at least felt like a real deck where something was happening every game, and I felt like I had a chance. So this is where I'm at the list. With the list, the Giant Cape is the flex card. Let me know what you guys think. Ninetales, very, very cool card. Can definitely get you some wins, man. It's a fun time at the very least, and that's what it's all about in the beginning of the meta. Have some fun. Try out these new cards before all you queue into are Hydreigons and Suicunes, and you are completely bullied out of playing anything fun at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video. I will see you on the next one.